I'm just thrilled to hear some of these personal stories. So tell me some more about things you've heard that's helping.
Yeah. Things like shingles, as an example, that's your nerve endings that become infected near the skin surface. Extremely painful. And if you listen to all the statistics, it's predicted that 7 out of 10 grown-ups before you die are going to get some form of shingles. My wife had shingles. And by putting Neuroquell on it, because of its antiseptic value, and that it gets rid of inflammation, that inflammation is called PLA2. Not that that means anything, but that's the scientific term for it. It causes that inflammation to get less and less and less, and pretty soon it's gone. So the same thing happens to shingles. Now, shingles will come out, it'll weep, it'll get crusty, and it still hurts like a son of a gun. But by using this, the pain will go away, but sometimes physically you don't see that go away as fast as the pain does. Typically you don't.
There's big pharmaceutical companies spending a lot of money telling people they need medicine for shingles that's expensive. They've hired a former football player to knock on people's doors and tell them 1 out of 3 Americans is going to get it. And you're telling me Neuroquell could potentially do the same thing?
Not potentially, it does. Neuroquell will help people with shingles because Neuroquell attacks the inflammation on the nerve endings that causes that terrible pain in shingles. And it's as simple as that. It's not, you don't take anything, you're not taking any drugs, you're not taking any shots, you're not doing an IV or anything like that. You can do it topically, very, very simple to do, and it works real nice. And I don't want to give you another story, but if you got a second, I had a fishing buddy of mine named Bob. We used to fish all the time, and he was probably in his early 80s. And I went to pick him up one day to go deep sea fishing, and he had a sweatshirt on, but he was sort of holding his hand like this. I says, Bob, what's the matter? I thought he'd get hurt. I was going to have a heart attack. He said, I got this terrible thing down here, and it's all red. And I said, let me look. Don't touch my shirt. It was so painful. So we opened the shirt up. No. So I got a pair of scissors, and I cut his shirt and looked at it. And you've never seen anything so red and terrible in your life. And this poor man was just beside himself. So I said, I've got a couple of bottles of Neuroquell in the car. Why don't we get some? He said, I don't want you to touch it. Don't put anything, don't scrape it with anything. So we got one of his wife's little spray cans that she sprays the flowers with. A little tiny one. And we put 2 bottles of Neuroquell in there. And we'd be sure it was clean before we did it, obviously. And we sprayed it on it. Within 3 or 4 seconds, Bob said, my God, what the heck happened? Am I going to get a big scar there? And we ended up going fishing that day. And I gave him 2 more bottles, and he used it 4 times before the shingles went through this routine of getting scabby and then falling off and things. And he was fine after that and never came back.
What about